fellow Utah Marshman and a teacher and an educator who has done so much, and also the vice president of the Baltimore City Teachers Union. No, not Kamala Harris, but also
Linky teachers.
Nah, vice
Good afternoon, everyone.
All right, Ms. Waheed.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm a teacher at Utah Marshman Elementary. My name is Fareeha Waheed. Waheed, as my students and families know me. Today, I'm representing the Baltimore Teachers Union because the Baltimore Teachers Union also agrees that our schools should not be closing. I have a lot of reasons for why my school should stay open, but one story that comes to mind in particular is of a student that I had before the pandemic. She transferred to Utah Marshman Elementary in the middle of the year. A funny, kind, and brilliant third grader who loves to draw. When she first arrived, we didn't know her at all, except that she had a couple of learning disabilities. She was a quiet student, and she flew under the radar. Of course, we implemented her IEP, or her Individualized Education Program, but it wasn't the most comprehensive, so it was many months before we understood that girl's true learning needs and were able to provide not only what she needed in school academically, but building a relationship with her and her family. Through our community school partnerships, it really became possible for us to give my student and her mother the wraparound supports they needed to proactively engage in school, including counseling, including mental health supports, including food, because let's be real, schools, community schools, are sometimes the only place that our babies get food.
Woo!
I just think about my student. I think about how eventually she was very successful, but it was a bumpy road at first. I just think about her and what would have happened if my student was transferring into a new school community right now, in the middle of COVID-19, while people are grieving, losing their loved ones, and worried about their own health. Students are working to catch up with grade level material. Our schools are trying to reconnect our families and maintain strong and effective relationships with our students. We are all barely hanging on by a thread, and it's not the time to throw a closing and a rezoning into the mix. Another problem is that this recommendation, I just want to be clear, it's an adjustment without an improvement for families. When you look at the data, when you look at the attendance and quality of school environment on Maryland's state report card from just last year, 2020-2021, our data is actually better at Utah Marshman Elementary than any of the 3 schools that the district wants to rezone our students to. It's not just that data. Our historical early learning data metrics for the kindergarten readiness assessment, we consistently exceed the district averages. To me, what this shows is we shouldn't be closing Utah Marshman Elementary. It should be a model for other school communities.
Woo! Yeah! Woo! Amen.
So, you heard all of our stories. In closing, I ask the school board, please consider our stories. Please consider the devastating impact that closing our schools would have on all of us, from students to parents to educators to the community. Please cancel the vote and keep our schools open while we can figure out how to get the money that we are rightfully owed from the state.
Preach, Reverend Waheed! Preach! Preach, Reverend Waheed! Woo! Yeah, baby! That woman is amazing.